And we'll post it on the STS YouTube channel after we've managed to create some sort of non-auto-generated transcript to it. But we will start off with, okay, see who's here. That's, I don't know. I guess we'll start off with Todd. Todd, you can tell us, and I can't remember if it's an acronym or an abbreviation of your association. Tell us what AITUL stands for and how you pronounce it and all that kind of stuff.
Thank you, Janet. You bet. I'll be tickled pink. IATUL originally stood for the International Association of Technological University Libraries. They've changed their name in the last several years, and it's now the International Association of University Libraries. So just because no good acronym can be fully understandable unless we change it up and make it mean something else. So what IATL is about is really the library associations connecting together. We've got 242 different member libraries. And to be a member of the library, the representative is either the managing library director or the university librarian. And so you basically have a small group of people, 242, that get together and work on some things. There's only about 10 member libraries here in the US that are members of IATL. And just a couple of things that I'll share with you. There are three main things that IATL brings to the table that's really kind of exciting. One of them is their annual meeting itself, which gives us an opportunity to see through a different lens, that international lens that's it can be difficult to apply here within the US. But when you get in a room with folks from around the world and they're starting to look at similar problems from different standpoints, we start coming up with pretty innovative ideas. And that leads directly into, and that annual conference took place earlier this year in the United Arab Emirates. It was the Zayed University of Dubai and the University of Sharjah. That meeting, though, leads to other exciting things. The three main things that they have every year would be their annual conference, the other one would be a seminar, and the third one might be a leadership academy of some sort. Those leadership academies haven't taken place in my knowledge or in my experience or association with the library. But the seminar is happening here September 4th through the 7th under the heading of Libraries as Transformers. It'll be in Izmir, Turkey. And our colleague Chrissy Klenke, who just joined, will know that I am not going to be in Izmir, Turkey, because I'm going to be out in the deserts of Nevada at that time frame following another event. That said, why do you care about IATL other than just generally being connected with it? And it's because you have there's at least 6 different special interest groups that are pretty exciting. Everything from data information groups to information literacy to library spaces, which is really sort of fun. There's separately, though, a thread where where faculty within your library that are doing research can apply for a research grant from IATL to work on common ideas. And that grant can be up to about €4,000. So that said, Janet, I'll step back off the podium and hand the baton to the next, unless there are any questions.
We can keep questions to the end unless somebody has one right away.
Very
all right.
good. Thank you.
Then we will go next to, let's think, who shall we go to next to? Let's go to ASEELD. I'm fairly certain that's an abbreviation and you're not supposed to pronounce that as SELD. We'll try that.
Yeah, 2 different ones. Let me go ahead and share my screen here too, and I can explain all these fun little acronyms. All right, so hopefully you all can see my slides. So yeah, so ASE is the American Society for Engineering Education, and ELD is the Engineering Libraries Division within that. My name is Carrie Carlotto, and I'm a Science and Engineering Librarian at USC. I primarily liaise with the School of Engineering, but generally with our STEM departments as well. So A little outline, I'll talk about 2 regional conferences that were held this year, as well as our main annual conference. And so again, just to reiterate, ASCE is kind of the larger engineering education, a lot of obviously engineering faculty. There's the main conference every year, the annual, and then there's lots of subdivisions within ASCE, and ELD, Engineering Libraries Division, is one of them. And that is all of the engineering librarians, but also other vendors are involved and other information professionals that primarily work with engineering communities. And we all are kind of a subdivision within that. So regionally, there was a Pacific Southwest Conference of ASCE held at USC. Lucky me, I didn't have to pay for parking because I do already. And this was again an ASCE conference, not just like an ELD conference. So this was more broadly organized around engineering education, the theme being technology, humanity, and society, educating all engineers for the future. I have links to, I'll make sure the slides get shared. There were some librarian presentations there, including my own with one of our USC engineering faculty on using Wikipedia in the engineering classroom. Another regional conference that I was luckily able to go to both of these regional ones. This one was at the Rocky Mountain section of ASCE at the Colorado School of Mines. And this theme was innovations in engineering education. And again, there were engineering librarian presentations there as well as just these broader conversations about educating young engineers. I unfortunately didn't get to go to the annual conference that just passed late last month, but that was held in Baltimore. And the theme of ASCE was the harbor of engineering education for 130 years. The great thing about the annual conference for ASCE is that ELD, so the Engineering Libraries Division, basically puts on their full conference programming. When I've attended in the past, like I don't even attend ASCE sessions, I just attend ELD sessions because you're busy like 9 to 5 every day with those. And again, the links will be shared out, but Sundays always kick off with workshops, a little bit more hands-on work. And then there's technical sessions that fill out basically the entire week, broadly about librarianship, engineering librarianship, and STEM librarianship, as well as many engineering librarians have like dual roles, or it's not just engineering, but maybe data, etc. There's also like lightning talks and posters, roundtables. There's a fun little speed dating event that I've heard about as well. And all technical sessions and posters require a paper submission that is peer reviewed. There is an open repository. I don't think this year's will be uploaded just yet, but ELD, attending the annual conference and the ELD especially provides like networking and social opportunities. They went to like Orioles games this year. There's banquets and dinners and ways to network with other engineering and STEM librarians. And then next year, the annual conference will be in Portland, and I can do questions at the end there.
Okay, thank you, Carrie. All right, so we'll go from Carrie to Kara to hear about IFLA. Now, see, that one I know how to pronounce.
Carrie's a hard act to follow. I do not have slides. I am currently one of our reps to the IFLA Science and Technology Libraries section. And IFLA, as you all may know, is the International Federation of Library Associations and Institutions. And the Science and Technology Libraries section is part of the academic divisions within the academic and research division within IFLA. And really the goal of SciTech is to bring together representatives from libraries and associations that are focused on information and data for physical sciences, technology, and engineering. This is my second year as a rep to the IFLA SciTech group. And what we have mainly focused on is professional development and equitable access to the types of professional development programs that you might get if you were able to attend the World Library Information Congress that IFLA holds every year. As you might guess, it's a really expensive conference to attend, not just because of travel, but also the registration is pretty expensive. And the science and technology library section always holds a really nice program that's usually a series of papers on topics like open science and open data, or science literacy and outreach, emerging roles for science librarians. And sometimes there's also a pre-conference workshop that's associated with that. And so what we've been working on is how can we provide access to this type of content outside of just the World Library and Information Congress, which IFLA calls WILIC. So we've been doing a series of webinars that are focused on the topic that the SciTech group did its programming on at WILIC, so that people from around the world who may not be able to attend the conference do have access to those. We post those for free on our YouTube channel, and you may have noticed on the STS Connect space that whenever we do one of those, I send out information to you all. And I have to say that we've been pretty well represented in the attendees, but we are also reaching library professionals around the world, which is, I think, really heartening. The WILIC this year is going to be in Rotterdam at the end of August. I will be attending, and I'll be presenting a poster on the professional development work that we've been doing with the webinars. This year's WILIC theme is, you know, let's work together, let's library, but it really focused on the UN Sustainable Development Goals. And so the fact that we are working to provide professional development access in a sustainable and equitable way seemed like something that we should talk about there at the Congress. I should also mention that the location for the 2024 WILIC has been announced as Dubai, and it is currently being reviewed, mostly because there will be censorship as to the programming that will be able to be presented at WILIC. And I should let you all know that if IFLA does stick with that location, I will not be participating in the next year's Congress. So thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Kara. Okay, who else do we have? We have Chrissy, GSIS.
Hello, my name is Chrissy Klinke. I am the Earth Sciences GIS and Maps librarian at the University of Nevada, Reno. I am the liaison to GSIS, which is the Geoscience Information Society. And I've been a liaison for a couple of years. And so if anyone is interested in the future or have any colleagues that would be interested in being a liaison for people of this area who do the geosciences, I highly encourage them. I use this for like my promotion and tenure packet, and I've preceded that. So I'd like to hand it off to somebody else who would be interested in utilizing this for their career. So to talk about the group, I too did not do a presentation, but I do a report, so I will submit that once this is done. Basically, I guess I could share my screen so I can go to the website. Let me do that really quick. Okay. So, for those of you, let me get this out of the way. Got it. Here we go. So this is the Geoscience Information Society's website. A lot of our communication and everything is on here. I will say that they do have a new webmaster, so it's slowly being updated with all of the current things that we are doing. Some of the things that I guess I wanted to highlight was we do our conference annually in conjunction with GSA, which is Geologic Society of America. And typically what we do is we have a track. There's a lot of different types of topical sessions throughout this massive conference, and we have just one little area. However, this year, I believe what we are doing is that we're not actually having a topical session specifically for our membership. And what they're doing is encouraging others to present in other areas, which I think is really cool. Two of the ones that they had mentioned are two of the tracks is TI 54, which is great books in geology, of course, those librarians, this is a really good one. But the other one that I thought was really interesting was that somebody had mentioned was the track 69, which is disabled and neurodivergent perceptions, community and identity in geosciences. So that was another session that people had said to encourage them to present in. There is a full list of all the different topical sections I had put here. So if you're interested in, taking a look at all of them, there are quite a few. So I highly recommend to use your filter if you want to search through some of those sessions. Typically in this group, we also have the Geoscience Librarianship 101. So this is also a really cool resource for people who are just starting into the geosciences. So I highly encourage people that are in library school or support the geosciences in some way. They do this every single year. I haven't seen a date. Typically it's at the end of the year in November, but I haven't seen anything just yet. Oh, this was from last year, sorry. So it's a full day and they talk about all the different kinds of resources that that most people use in the geosciences. I think it's a really great, it's a really great workshop. I did it when I first started. We've also been very active in a lot of webinars this year, which has been really great for professional development. Here's the website of all of the different presentations that we have done and will be doing in the future. So if you're ever looking to see any upcoming webinars or any of the past webinars that have been recorded, this is a great place to go. We also do these quarterly newspapers or newsletters, I should say, and I've linked to them here in this area for our most current ones for this year. And then we will have the summer one coming out soon, but we do have all of the archives. I really like these newsletters because they have all different kinds of information. There's 2 new editors as far as like the last year, and I think they're really encouraging the membership to write more about even just their trips that they do. Geology is everywhere in the world, and we're standing on it. So it's really fun to hear about members' vacations or places that they've gone to visit and just what they see. I think that's a lot of fun too. And some other news, Emily Wild. I don't know if any of you guys know Emily Wild, but she is incredible. And she is the Geoscience and Environmental Studies librarian from Princeton. And she received our Distinguished Award Service Award this year. She's awesome. We get emails from her all the time about all the different resources that are coming out of the USGS, hydrology. She's like, I like save all of her emails all the time with her list of resources. So she's wonderful. Just to kind of skip down through this other one, I'll go back to the nominations for awards. But in one of those emails, one of the things that she had promoted was the diversity in the geosciences. And early this year, the USGS published water resources and data in Spanish. And that's really awesome for diversity and equity. And I have a link to those 3 resources that she had put in her email there. So feel free to go check those out. And then currently, right now, always leading up to the annual conference, we have these awards. I am the chair for the Marian Sari's Best Reference Resource Award. Currently, we have 12 resources that we are looking at. They can be a variety of things. They could be websites, online tools, books, all those different kinds of things for the Reference and Resource Award. I think these awards are really nice for helping build your collection. So if you ever wanted to see what things were done in the past, last year, we chose Strata for our reference book by Strata William Smith's Geologic Maps, edited by the Oxford University. So I think these are really great resources to help, just make sure that you've got these in your collection for any sort of collection development. We have a list of all of the ones that we've done. I believe it's like from the, 1980, I want to say 88. So we've got a whole list of them. I'm promoting the group that I'm chairing, but there are other ones too. And if you go to this awards paper, we have best paper, best reference, best guidebook. And the best website is kind of lumped into our best reference. So just wanted to mention some of those different websites or resources within our website. And because our conference won't be until what did I say that was? I think I kind of skipped over that a little bit. This year, our conference is October 15th through the 18th in Pittsburgh. So if anyone is interested, I do have a conference link to the conference website there too for more information. But it is kind of hard, I will say, because we're just a small part of GSA, which is a larger one, it's a little hard to really filter in to get to the GSIS information. So if you are interested, feel free to reach out to me. I'd be happy to connect you with some of those because it can be a little hard to navigate the website again, because it's so big. So that's my report. Thank you so much.
Thanks,
I hope
Chrissy.
everyone has a great day.
Okay, and then we have Emily. Where's Emily gone to? She's around here somewhere. There you are on my screen. Emily can tell us about USANE.
Yes, hi everyone. So yes, I'm Emily. I'm a head librarian at McDonald Campus Library in Montreal in Canada. And I am the liaison to USANE. So USANE stands for the United States Agricultural Information Network. So their aim is to connect librarians and other information professionals that are working in agriculture. So the association does have partnerships with other really related organizations, including AgNIC, which is the Agriculture Network Information Collaborative, as well as the National Agricultural Library. And also recently, they're exploring further partnerships with the Council on Botanical and Horticultural Libraries as well. So they have a lot of connections with important organizations there. So the association conferences are held every second year. So the last conference was held virtually in 2022, and that was hosted by the University of Arkansas. And the next is scheduled for May 2024 and will be hosted by Michigan State University. So right now in 2023, we're in an off-conference year. So actually the upcoming 2024 conference is going to be a joint conference with the Council on Botanical and Horticultural Libraries. So just as even though we're in an off-conference year, USANE is very active and engaged. And so there's activities and professional development opportunities that are hosted either by their interest groups or by other USANE committees. So some of the interest groups that exist include social issues and rural information, collection management, animal health information interest group, agricultural research services, agricultural economics, research information and education, and also a technology trends interest group as well. So just one quick example of one of the activities that they held this year. There was a great online discussion session on ChatGPT, which is a big topic right now at a lot of our institutions. So that was a really great opportunity. They also hosted an online networking event. We've had a lot of online conferences the last little while, so this was a great opportunity to connect with other members. So we're really looking forward to the next conference in 2024.
Okay, thank you, Emily. And I do not see Jamie anywhere on this call. And I really wanted to know, is it I Am Slick or is it, I don't have no clue how you pronounce his organization. That's Marine Sciences anyways.
I am slick.
That's what they say.
Is it? Okay.
Yep, that's what they say.
Okay, well, and Andrea Pritt, who is our incoming AAAS liaison, managed to get herself somewhat double booked, so she might show up later, but in the meantime, that's okay. Now it's time for our question and answers part. You can either stick them in the Q&A, you can raise your hand and we will call on you. You can stick them in the chat if that's how you like it. I can start off asking questions. Let's think, who was I thinking about? I was thinking, so Kara, are there any, okay, if it doesn't go to Dubai, is there a backup location for IFLA for next year?
I lost my mouse.
Oops.
And so I couldn't unmute myself, so I'm sorry. No, there's not a backup location. IFLA is trying to do a better job of picking locations that are not just in Europe or North America. And so one of the regions that they focused on, they call MENA, the Middle East and North Africa. And from the information that's been released, they only received, I think, 3 bids from locations in that region to host, and the only complete bid was Dubai's. And I think basically at this point, it's a financial decision. Like ALA, they need the conference to help generate income for the work of the association. And so they have to make a decision about whether or not they'll hold the conference or not hold the conference. I have a sneaking suspicion that they're going to go ahead and hold the conference, and that there were in Dubai, and then there will just be some of us who will not attend. That being said, there are plenty of people who will be able to attend in Dubai who would not have been able to attend if the location was somewhere in Europe or North America. But ALA has formally that IFLA reconsider the location, and it is because of the censorship and anti-inclusivity issues.
Yeah, we heard a little bit more about that, and it's quite understandable what ALA is saying. On the other hand, if you don't engage with those kind of countries, it will never change. So that is the other problem with it. Okay, are there any questions in the chat? Right, well, Amy, did you want to ask that question directly of Emily?
Oh, sure. Hi, Emily. I heard you mention a ChatGPT session. I was just curious if you could share more, and then if anyone else has attended a session recently at their organizations, that would be great to hear too. Thank you.
Sure, I wasn't able to attend the whole session, but I know for myself, for example, it's become a big topic of discussion amongst our faculty as well, just thinking about all of the issues with related to how do you design assignments. And I think that in a lot of cases, people are looking towards the library as well for some information or feedback or guidance. And so there was a lot of discussion around that.
Okay. Well, Evan, you can ask your questions yourself.
Yeah, sorry, Kara, I was just wanted to ask a follow-up about the World Library and Information Congress. If they've discussed doing an online or hybrid option, I guess in lieu of the in-person one. I imagine they would be able to make as much money, but
So they have the last one that they offered as an online or hybrid one was it lost quite a lot of money. And the only reason they were able to do it is because it was subsidized by the Dutch government. And so it doesn't seem like that would be an option. They are asking member volunteers for their opinions. And so I did complete that survey. I understand the complications. I really do. I feel like one of our core principles as libraries and librarians is freedom of information and inclusion of all members of our community. And I personally would not be able to participate if that were not the case. So,
thank you.
Thank you. I have a question for Chrissy. You had gone to a couple of regional conferences, but those obviously are in your region. I assume there are regional ones in the East, and how would we find out about those?
GSA is always during WAML, which is Western Association of Map Libraries, and I'm a really big, I hold some executive board memberships, not memberships, but positions with WAML. So I've actually never been to GSA. GSA has been around the country. I mean, it's gone all over the place from Phoenix. I think last year it was in Phoenix, then now it's in Pittsburgh. So regionally, I don't think that there's a regional group out of GS out of our group. Sorry, that doesn't really answer your question, but
Okay, that's fine. All right.
yeah.
Any other questions in the chat? I don't see other questions in the chat. Okay. Raise your hands, put something in the chat if you like. Otherwise I'm going to pick on some other people and ask them about well, you saying, okay, I know it's every other year. Do you have any awards and or not scholarships exactly, but ways to bring young librarians to your conferences?
Yes, we do. Hang on, I'm just opening up the website here. Okay, so there is let's see, there is conference scholarships that are available. There is there's also a USANE Research Fellow Award. So it's not that's not necessarily related to the conference, but it's some potential for research funding that comes up as well.
Okay, good, because I mean, one of the problems we're finding with having liaisons is it's expensive to belong to both ALA and some other association, and going to a second conference is daunting, shall we say. So we're always looking for organizations that have either a reduced fee for librarians or some sort of scholarship reward, some way of enticing people to go to theirs. So I know that ASE EELD, they've never been successful at getting them to give any kind of discount whatsoever to librarians. But and with IFLA, of course, ACRL, Kara is one of two IFLA reps for the science and technology section. And you can apply for, I don't know, how much is the funding that they will give you, ACRL? I mean, it's not guaranteed by any means, though.
I'm not actually sure how much it is. I've never applied for it because I didn't want to, my organization will fund me to go, and I didn't want to take the funding away from somebody else who needed it. However, they do give us a discount on the registration. So there's a discount code for the registration, which, I mean, it's still kind of pricey.
Mhm.
Let me look for the link for that information, Janet, and I'll pop it in the chat.
Okay, that's good. And, you know, unfortunately, we don't have our AAAS people on. But it's generally in October, I think, that you will see the call coming out. ACRL sponsors 30 science librarians to go to AAAS with free registration. It doesn't give you any travel costs, but free registration. And it's a very, it's a great thing to go to, actually. It is really quite a good conference to go to. First dibs go to people who have never gone to one, but you can always put your name on the list, and if they don't have enough people, or if somebody has to drop out, you can be, you know, even if you've gone to them before. I went in 2014 and 2018, something like that. So I've gone twice, and it's great. And I really, if you are at all interested in, AAAS gives us the scholarships. Okay, well, ACRL, I guess, coordinates them then. Allison can tell us all about that. She used to be our AAAS rep, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, that's not really ACRL that coordinates them. It's the STS Liaison, and it's a heck of a lot of work. With so much work trying to keep track of who is going to get the free registration and who was on the wait list and who was coming. But it was fun. I'm glad I did.
And it's great because we have sessions just for the librarians. I mean, you can obviously give a poster or whatever as a whole, but we usually have some sort of session where we talk with each other. What have we done? Give presentations, lightning talks, whatever you like. I would really keep your eye out for it. If you are all interested in going to it, I don't even know where it is next year. I'd have to look that up. But that is something you really should pay attention to. You know, so you get the free registration. Again, you pay for your own travel, but it's definitely worth it to go to it. Okay, what else? See if so. Okay, Chrissy, how bad
Janet,
is
it's going to be in sorry, I'm sorry to interrupt. It's going to be in Denver in 2024, in February 2024, Denver.
I don't know if I want to.
I really encourage.
Denver in February.
Oh, it'll be fine. But it's such a good meeting because it's science that covers, you know, all areas of science, and so it's exciting to hear about really new discoveries and timely topics. You're not just talking to librarians. Much as I love talking to librarians, it's really great to hear science from scientists.
It is. So Chrissy, how expensive is a visit to go to GSIS?
Well, I do know that with your GSIS membership, you get the GSA membership conference cost. Because of it's a larger conference, they tend to be more expensive. I mean, in my own personal experience. Like I said, I've never been to the GSA whole conference before, so I can't really speak to like the cost of that specifically, but I really think it depends on the city that it's in. Pittsburgh, it's pretty expensive. So, and for me, it's on the other side of the world. So literally, not literally, but so I won't be able to attend that one. So I think as far as like cost wise, it's definitely not the cheapest one. But.
Okay, well, that's okay. But you know, if anybody's on this Zoom meeting and wants to volunteer, we have, well, Chrissy would like to cycle off. She's been, you know, we've twisted our arm more than once to stay on, so we could definitely have somebody there. We don't have anybody who is currently representing the Special Libraries Association. We don't have a Medical Libraries Association person either. And there are a whole bunch of them. I can post the list, I guess, to ALA Connect of the other organizations we would like to have representatives to. We do have a representative to the March for Science and a few other things like that. You can always, if you know of an organization, you can always say, I would like to be a liaison to this. And being a liaison, you don't have to go to the conference, or you can attend them virtually. Mostly what you're trying to do is let us know what they're doing. And if it's appropriate, you let them know what we do. So that's really all that it is. You know, you at the end of the year, you write up a little report that gets stuck into a full report that we stick on ALA Connect. And all it says is, this is what this organization did. We had this conference, it was held here. Next year's conference will be this theme or whatever. And that's all it really. So if you want to volunteer, we could always do for volunteers. Evan will gladly take names for volunteers, right? Yes, Evan will gladly take names for volunteers. Okay, if there are
I have
no
a question.
Hmm?
I have a question about that. So I remember as a liaison, there was scholarships that we could request money to go attend our conferences. Is that still available?
They've mostly pulled that back, as far as I
Okay.
know. It's one of those, you know, I think we tried to for a while, but at this point, no. As you know, ACRL does have a system that you can ask for funds, but mostly they're going to want the ones that the ACRL level things, which is AAAS, IFLA, and March for Science. There's probably other ones in other disciplines, but I don't know about those ones. So mostly it goes to those ones, and you have to justify how you're going to this conference benefits ACRL, how you have, you know, you got to match it up to the ACRL, whatever, plan for excellence, and how this is, you know, making sure that librarianship is at the forefront of whatever organization, yada, yada, yada. So it can be done. It's just not easy to get that kind of funds, which is why we were looking at trying to find places that do have discounts for librarians or scholarships. I know when I was in SLA and I was the awards chair for the SciTech division, we had a student, well, we had several student scholarships. They weren't huge, but they were like $1,000, which if the conference was in your area, that was actually not too bad. I mean, it wouldn't help if you had to fly across the country or whatever, but $1,000 wasn't bad. We also had international awards, and we had joint awards with other, you know, with certain sections like the Middle East chapter or whatever. That was in SLA. I don't know if they still have those because SLA seems to be imploding. I don't know if MLA ever has any of those. You know, that's what we were hoping to get more of. USAN obviously has a few, which those were in the chat, and hopefully I'll see if I can capture the chat so that that's there. Who else has one? Okay, there we are. Grants. So Amy stuck in the chat the IFLA grants information, which is the link to that. So you can look at that if you're interested in going to IFLA. IFLA is, yeah, majorly expensive. Even when it was in Dublin, Ohio, I looked at it. Ouch. You know, because I could drive to Dublin, Ohio, but then I wouldn't, after I paid the registration fee, I don't think I would be able to eat. So yeah. All right, well, it is now 3:45. I guess you get 15 minutes of your day back if there are no more questions. No more questions? Going once, going twice. All right, well, remember that we will hopefully get a nice transcript of this and we will post it to ALA Connect when we are done. I would like to thank our liaisons. Where's my reactions? We'll all do the little clappy thing. Where's the little clappy? There's a little clap. For our liaisons, and I thank everyone who is helped out with this meeting today. All right, then everybody, you have 15 minutes of your life back. And I will see you again. Bye-bye.